What is going on, guys? So these are going to be my week 2 NFL predictions. I'll talk a little bit at the end of the video about week 1. I'm gonna eat some crow. I think I went 5-10 week 1, so we'll look at anything and everything that I basically got wrong. So that was kind of an ice cold take week 1, but let's go and get started. Jump into week 2, the 1 o'clock games. We got the Detroit Lions at Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers was really impressive week 1, and so I'm definitely going with Green Bay. The Detroit Lions were the exact opposite of impressive. They came out and looked pretty good, and then they gave up a big lead, as they always do, to, not big league, a big lead to the Chicago Bears. So definitely going with A-Rod in that one. New York Giants at Chicago Bears. I wanted to go with the Giants here. Not that I want the Giants to win as a Cowboys fan, but I'm going to pick the Chicago Bears. I do think Saquon Barkley is going to have a bounce-back game because he was so bad against the Steelers on Monday Night Football. But at the same time, or was that Sunday night? I don't know. At the same time, I got the Bears, man. Mitch Trubisky might prove me wrong this year. He might not. Who knows what Mitch is going to do, but I do think he's going to beat the Giants. Let's see, week 3. Los Angeles Rams at Philadelphia Eagles. I think this will be a closely contested game, kind of like the Cowboys and the Rams were. Eagles are going to be at home, so they have that going for them. I don't think they're having anybody in the stands, though, so not that it really matters. Let's see. I picked the Rams, and I think that's what I'm going to stick with. As far as, like, their defense, I think the Eagles are going to be a little tougher of a matchup than the Cowboys were. But, man, Sean McVay is such a smart coach that I think he's going to come in with a really good game plan. He's not going to attack Darius Slay, but he's going to attack some of those other guys, and they're going to get the ball out quick. And they're probably going to run the ball really well, just like they did against us. Now, Atlanta Falcons at Dallas Cowboys. I already predicted this one in my Cowboys week 2 prediction video. I did pick the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm going to stick to it. I'm a little worried, guys. The new news came out about Tyron Smith possibly not playing. He hasn't been practicing, and I think this might be more than just a 1-week thing. It might be ongoing with him, so it's a concern. I'm still picking Dallas in Dallas. There's going to be fans at Jerry World, so that will be interesting to see what happens. I hope we don't start 0-2. Carolina Panthers at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both losers week 1. I pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers solely because Tom Brady and Tampa, you got to love it. Didn't look too hot against the New Orleans Saints, but the Saints are a tough team. I think the Panthers are going to struggle a little bit this year. I do think they have a good head coach in Matt Rule. It's just going to take some time to get acclimated to the new, what word did I just try to even say? We'll go and say accustomed to the new team, not having Cam Newton there, having Teddy Bridgewater. I think they looked okay against the Raiders, but I think it also showed their upside this season is probably kind of low. So I'm definitely picking Tampa because they have the higher ceiling. Next, we got the San Francisco 49ers at New York Jets. So San Fran disappointed week 1, but I think the Jets are going to suck every week. So for that reason, I pick San Fran. I don't care where the game's being played. I will pick San Fran over the Jets every time. I did get their game wrong last week, however. Let's see what we got here. Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee Titans. Don't be shocked if the Jaguars aren't a horrible team this year. That being said, I still think the Titans are the better team, and they're pretty tough. They had a tough matchup last week against the Denver Broncos, so they didn't look all that impressive, but they figured out how to get a win, and I think they'll definitely win at home against Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville's going to be one of their easier games on the schedule, just because they don't have an abundance of talent, but they aren't horrible. Jacksonville really impressed week 1, so don't be shocked if Jacksonville's competitive. I'm still going to go with Tennessee. Denver Broncos at the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is going to be another tough defensive battle. I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just think they're a little better, but Denver's another team. I think they're going to impress this year. Drew Lock's going to really step it up in season 2. And I wouldn't be shocked if they win this game, but my gut is saying that the Steelers are going to take this one. Probably because I have their defense for fantasy football, to be completely honest. Buffalo Bills at Miami Dolphins. I'm going to pull Dan Mitchell, a Don Mafia, and I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills for the second week in a row. Wow, could they potentially be 2-0? Yes, football fans, I think they definitely can. The Miami Dolphins suck, and they're going to continue to suck until they bench Ryan Fitzpatrick. And Tua might not be much better right now, so that's kind of scary for them. As far as their overall football team goes, I think they're well coached, and they're not actually that horrible. They don't suck, but their quarterback sucks. So they'll be as good, and they'll go as far as he takes them, in my opinion. Minnesota Vikings at Indianapolis Colts, the last 1 o'clock game. And I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. I just think they're a little bit better. I was really excited about the Colts week 1. I'm almost confusing myself right now saying why didn't I pick the Colts. But I think it's because they were so disappointing against a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars that I'm like, well, the Vikings are probably better than the Jaguars. So the Vikings are probably going to beat the Colts as well. That's why I'm going with the Vikings. I'm going to say Jags again. 4 o'clock games, got 3 of those, as always. Washington football team at Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to pick the Arizona Cardinals mostly just because they were really impressive week 1 against a really good team that was in the Super Bowl and had a chance to win the Super Bowl last year. So with that said, Washington also definitely impressed, but let's not forget they were down by like 17-0, I think. So they were down by a lot at the beginning of that game, but they did work their way back in. So you shouldn't discredit the Washington football team over that. I do think the Cardinals definitely have more weapons, and they got the flashier weapons for sure. Look for Christian Kirk to do better than last week. I think he only had 1 catch last week. And look for Nuke Hopkins to continue to do his thing. And that Heisman, Kyler Murray, to continue to step up his game year 2. Kansas City Chiefs at Los Angeles Chargers. Well, I was surprised to see the Chargers beat the Bengals last week, although I did think that would be a pretty close game. So that was impressive. I don't think they're going to hang with Kansas City. They'll probably put up like 14 points, to be honest. Maybe like 19. I don't know. 19 is a weird number. Can you even score 19 points in football? Well, yeah, you can, but it would be weird, right? So I'm still going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs regardless. I don't think that'll be super close. The last 4 o'clock game, Baltimore Ravens at Houston Texans. Definitely going to the Ravens here, guys. Another easy matchup for them. To start out with the Browns and the Houston Texans in the AFC must be nice. Wish the Cowboys could have a schedule like that heading into the season. Sunday Night Football, New England Patriots at Seattle Seahawks. That game could be interesting. I kind of thought Seattle was going to take a step back this year. After watching week 1, I was completely wrong. I'm picking the Seattle Seahawks. They beat a good Atlanta team in week 1 by a decent amount of points. And Russell Wilson is just that good. Cam Newton is not as good as Russell Wilson at this point in his career, and that is the difference in my opinion. Also, Seattle just has a better team. So we're going with Seattle. Monday Night Football, New Orleans Saints at Las Vegas Raiders. And John Gruden would say, he'd be like, I tell you what, man, the Las Vegas Raiders. That was a horrible impression, but I got the New Orleans Saints, man. That guy, Jameis Winston, coming off the bench, man, he's a heck of a quarterback. Tell you what, and he likes them crab legs. But no, I got Drew Brees against the Raiders, against John Gruden every time. Even though it's not at the Superdome and there's not going to be fans there probably, I don't care. I think that's an easy pick. I promise I won't do that. Actually, I might be lying. I might do that horrible John Gruden impersonation every week. Might even do it for every pick one week. Now that I've gone through all the week 2 picks, obviously I didn't do the Thursday Night Football. I'm just not going to do Thursday Night Football because I'm posting these on like Saturday night or Sunday, so it just doesn't make sense for me. Let's go and eat some crow and go back to week 1 where I was 5-10. Guys, that's not a good record. Nobody wants to be 5-10 except the Washington football team that were 3-13 last year. They would have been cool with 5-11 all day. But me, I don't want to be 5-10 or 5-11 or 3-13. Anyways, Philadelphia Eagles at Washington football team. I picked the Eagles. I think that was a fair pick, and I was wrong. Miami Dolphins at Pats. I picked the Pats. I was correct. Green Bay Packers at Minnesota Vikings. I picked the Vikings. That was kind of a cold take. Rodgers came out swinging. I think he's a little upset about Jordan Love being brought in to one day take a spot, and I think he's sticking it to the man by playing good football this year. 1-2 there. 1-3 when I picked the Colts to beat the Jaguars. Again, I think going into week 1, that was a fair pick. Who would have picked the Jags to win that game? Clearly, I was wrong. We had the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. I picked the Detroit Lions, and I learned a hard, cold life lesson, guys. Never pick the Detroit Lions. So that put me at 1-4. Then I went 1-5 when I picked the Carolina Panthers to beat the Las Vegas Raiders. So the Raiders were impressive. Knew it was going to be a close game, and it was. I think it could have gone either way. I'm not mad at that pick from my behalf. 2-5 when I picked the Bills to beat the Jets. So smart pick. 3-5 when I picked the Ravens to beat the Browns. Again, kind of a gimme. But then I picked the Falcons to beat the Seahawks, and now I'm looking kind of stupid. I picked the Bengals to beat the Chargers. I mean, that's not a horrible pick. It was a closely contested game, and I think if I had to pick it again, if they played each other again, I would pick the Bengals still. And maybe I'd be wrong twice. Cardinals and 49ers. I picked the 49ers. Didn't everybody pick the 49ers? I thought we were supposed to all pick the 49ers, and they didn't win. Why didn't they win? I don't know. Maybe Kyler Murray is going to have a breakout season. Maybe that's why. So that put me at 3-8. Then I picked the Cowboys to win because I'm a Cowboys guy. I write about the Dallas Cowboys for Fan to Fan Network, for Law Nation and his YouTube channel. Shout out to Law. He just had me on. Thanks for that. But I'm supposed to pick the Cowboys, right? And they're supposed to win, but they didn't. So I was wrong about that. That put me at 3-9. But then I had a couple wins. Tampa Bay and New Orleans. I picked Tampa Bay to lose, and they did. Drew Brees won in New Orleans like he usually does. That put me at 4-9. Giants Steelers. This is the coldest take of the week. I picked the Giants to beat the Steelers. I knew I was wrong. I still made the pick, and that put me at 4-10. But then the last game, Monday Night Football, Tennessee Titans at Denver Broncos. I picked the Titans to win that game, and I was right. So there were a couple of bad selections. I'm thinking Giants Steelers, and I'm thinking Falcons Seahawks that I made. And I was really wrong about those. There was some more that I was wrong about that I'm not that mad about. Like Jacksonville beating Colts. Okay, I didn't see that coming. I always think Dallas is going to win in my heart of hearts. So at the end of the day, guys, leave me some crow that I can eat in the comments. But also, if you're going to do that, leave me a like as well. And definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel for some more daily Dallas Cowboys content, but also more weekly predictions before each week in the NFL. I'll definitely keep doing these. They're kind of fun. And that's going to do it for today, guys. That's it. I'm out. Peace!